Hi guys, this is Kim Madsit from KinderGals on Sunday afternoon, and I'm back for another live video. But I wanted to give you a heads up. Some people have been asking, where is my blog? My blog is just www.kindergals.blogspot.com. I'll put a link in the comments so you can look for it there. But today I'm going to show you some easy peasy card games. Now, I don't know about you, but growing up, one thing that we always had at our house was a deck of cards. I fly a lot for my job, and Delta gives out free cards. So every time they put out cards, I always grab a couple decks. And so I have plenty of decks of cards. So the first thing we're going to do to get ready is we're going to sort our cards. We're going to take out all the kings, the queens, the jacks, the jokers. We're going to take those out and get rid of those. We don't even need those. Then we're going to divide our cards into two sets. We're going to get all the red cards and that's enough for one game, okay? Then we're going to take all the black cards. Now, what you've noticed is I've cut these black cards because what we want kids to be able to do is we want them to be able to subitize. If you're not familiar with that term, subitize just means an instant recognition of a set. So if I told you to draw a 4 of hearts on a piece of paper, you could do it right away. Everybody would know how to draw a 4 of hearts. But if I said draw for me the 7 of hearts card, you might have a harder time doing that. And that's because when we play cards, we don't look at the configuration. We look at the numerals in the corners. So since I don't want kids looking at those numerals, I want them looking at the configurations. I've cut those numerals off, okay? So we're gonna play with these cards, all right? So the first game I'm gonna play with you is similar to one I showed you with the dominoes. So what we're gonna do is, this is a more and less game, and we start with the deck, either spread out or in a pile, and they're gonna play with a partner. So you draw a card and I draw a card. Now we're gonna compare. All right, so you have 9 and I have 6. So you have more and I have less. Now whoever has less gets to spin the spinner. We don't want kids thinking that more is the winner. We've all done a graph where if it's apples and pumpkins that they can choose, and if apples is winning, everybody's going, yay, choose apples, choose apples. And it has nothing really to do with their preference. It's just who's winning. They think more means winner. So in that case, what we're going to do is we're going to let less be the winner. So, be the spinner, not necessarily be the winner. So less will spin the spinner. It landed on less. That means because I had less, I get to keep both cards. Then we draw again. You draw a card, I draw a card. So I have 7. See how when kids look at this and they're thinking 7, they might see 5 and 2, they might see 6 and 1, but all of those are ways for kids to develop that 7. Same thing over here. It's equal, 5 and 2, right? So if we have that, we just put those cards in the bottom and go again. Very easy, more and less game. All right, the next game I'm going to show you is this one. Now, I've already started playing this. Let me grab a marker real quick. I forgot to get one. Hold on just a second. All right, so here's what they're going to do. They're going to just take a card off the deck, and then they have to see how many are on there. So here again, we want kids to not have to count. If they don't know, of course they're going to have to count. But we want kids to see like, okay, this is 3 and 3, 6 and 2. Or we want them to see this is 5 and 3. We want them to start to see those configurations. So then they would come here and they would write an 8. All right? Then they go put that at the bottom of the deck. They draw another card. This one is 4 and 4 is 8 and 2 more is 10. And we would write the 10. Now, if you're working at the beginning of the year with your young kinders, you might want to take this deck of cards, pull out all these combinations of 6 to 10, and just make your game board, your recording page half the size, and just use 1 to 5, because we want them to really have those subitizing from 1 to 5 before we go on to 6 to 10. Okay, now with this game, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to divide our cards. We only want one suit, okay? So we either want clubs or spades, not both. So we're going to divide them quickly. Just put those clubs away, all right? And we're going to spread the cards out, all right? And the children are going to draw 3 cards, okay? Then what they're going going to do is they're going to put them in order. So we have 3, we have 4, and we have 8. Okay, now you might want to put a number line down here so the kids can see where these numbers are, because what we're doing over here is now we're going to record those numbers. 1, 6, and 10 was what I did the last time. So this time I'm going to do 3, 4, and 8. Okay, all right, very easy center that you can do there. Now this one is the same idea, but this one we're going to work with 4 numbers. We're increasing the complexity by putting 4 numbers, and here we're just talking about where the numbers are on the number line. So again, they turn over 4 cards, and then they have to put them in order, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now that doesn't happen very often, where they are in the exact order, but then they would write that on their recording page, 3, 4, 5, 6, okay? All right, now, what if this happens? What if they can't do this? Okay, so why would they not be able to do it? So often what we want to do is we want to say they can't do the standard. So we need to think of a different standard. Well, really it goes down to 3 simple letters. And I've talked about these before. CPA, conceptual, pictorial, abstract. Conceptual means manipulate. If kids aren't manipulating, moving objects around, then they're not working at the conceptual level. All math has to be learned at the conceptual level. If not, major misconceptions occur. So at its best, these are pictorial because the kids can't move these objects on there. So how could we take this game and modify it? Just put out Unifix cubes. Give them a number. They have 6. Make a tower of 6 Unifix cubes. Make a tower of 5. Make a tower of 4. Make a tower of 3. Then get the towers in order. Match the number cards to the towers, and then put the number cards in order. When we go over here onto the recording page, we've now gone to the abstract level. This is why if you have children just turning over numeral cards and putting the numerals in order, they really have no understanding of what they're doing, because that is strictly at the abstract level. They can find those numerals on a number line and match them up, but they really don't understand why those numbers are where they are until they have developed a conceptual understanding of the subitizing, of the how many are in the set, okay? All right, so here's one more game I'm gonna show you, all right? And this game is called Add It Up. So here's what you're gonna do. There again, you're gonna take your cards, all right? And this time I wanna divide so that I only have the sets 1 to 5, okay? 1 to 5. Now, if you're a first grade teacher and it's later in the year, feel free to go ahead and put in those 6 to 10 because you're gonna be working on adding those numbers. But really, working on sums to 10 is really what we wanna be doing, okay? So the kids are gonna turn over 2 cards. So here we have 1 plus 2. Now, the kids, if they're not at the conceptual level, they could do this 1, 2, 3 and write 3. But here's the problem. They really don't have a conceptual understanding of putting it together. So what we would want them to do is we would want them to put 1 Unifix cube, 2 Unifix cubes, then snap them together and move it over here to see that they now have 3 Unifix cubes, okay? Don't put 1 Unifix cube, 2 Unifix cubes, and then 3 different, because they won't see that as being the same. It's different cubes, okay? So you want to take these that you've put here, move the cubes over here, and then the kids can see that sum. And then we can write our sum right here, okay? All right, so I hope you found some easy games that you can go and play with your kids tomorrow. Here's what I've done. I've already put up the blog post. I'm ahead of the game today, finally. But I've already posted a blog post today with all of these games, with pictures and directions typed out, so that you can go and have that in case you can't remember how to play the games at a later time. I'll be back on Wednesday, Workshop Wednesday. We're going to answer this question. Can all kids write? So I'll see you on Wednesday, probably around 6:30 is when I'm going to see you for that live. But be sure you just watch on Facebook. I'll post the exact time once I figure out what's going on with my family, okay? Y'all have a great Sunday, and I'll see you on Wednesday.